This is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We begin tonight here with breaking developments in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, the concrete clues they are now pursuing tonight in the desperate search for the 84-year-old mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. It's been nearly 2 weeks now since she was taken from her home in Tucson. Tonight, investigators with that description now. They believe the man at Nancy Guthrie's front door was about 5'9" or 5'10" with an average build. Authorities tonight also looking to find out who purchased the backpack, the 25-liter Ozark Trail Hiker pack. It is sold by Walmart. They're hoping store cameras will offer clues or that someone will come forward to say, I know someone with that kind of backpack. The video from the New York Post showing deputies finding gloves near the side of a road not far from Nancy Guthrie's home. ABC News has now been told tonight they did recover DNA from those gloves. That DNA now being tested. And tonight here, our interview with the sheriff. Their urgent plea now to the public, anyone with a doorbell cam, a Nest cam, a Ring cam, what they're asking neighbors to do right now. Here's our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Kotursky, in Tucson, leading us off again tonight.
Tonight, nearly 2 weeks after Nancy Guthrie's abduction, investigators are now chasing concrete clues, a backpack, gloves, and potential DNA as they race to unmask her suspected kidnapper. After erecting that tent at the front door of the home, the FBI could be seen holding a measurement device to determine the height of the man at the door. Tonight, the FBI now says the suspect is about 5'9" or 5'10" with an average build. Authorities also have concrete information about the backpack the man was wearing. They say it was a 25-liter Ozark Trail Hiker pack, which is sold at Walmart. We found one at the Tucson Walmart for $11.
Backpack's a Walmart backpack, right? So can you trace the sale?
We're hoping. We have teams working on all of this stuff.
Investigators could find who recently bought that backpack and whether the purchase was captured on video. In fact, just months ago, that same kind of footage from a retailer helped convict a suspect in a different case, Brian Walsh in Massachusetts, accused of killing his wife. Prosecutors used the video of him buying a hacksaw, hatchet, bucket, and other supplies. Tonight here in Tucson, they're hoping to find video of the suspect buying that backpack he was wearing at the front door, or maybe someone will come forward to tell authorities they know someone with that same kind of Walmart Ozark Trail Hiker pack. And investigators are also working to identify DNA found in the house that is not Nancy Guthrie's or from anyone in her circle. The sheriff speaking publicly about the case for the first time in more than a week, telling us they have recovered several gloves near Nancy Guthrie's home, like this one photographed by the New York Post. It's not clear if the gloves are connected to the case, if they were worn by the man at the door, but investigators did find DNA on the gloves and they're testing it.
Anything useful come back? You know?
Well, you've got DNA, so that's of use. Now we have to go through and try to eliminate people or make people. We're so hopeful that we're getting closer. We just believe that.
Tonight, investigators with an urgent plea to the public. They need more home security camera footage. They've asked homeowners all over Pima County, but especially within a 2-mile radius of Nancy Guthrie's home, to help with any footage from the month before she disappeared. It could hold clues of any vehicle or person that could have been casing the area.
We're pushing out another message with Ring to say, hey, people, take a look, send it to us, give us some permissions, let's look.
This video, for example, was uploaded by a homeowner 6 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home. Someone at their front door recorded the week before. The sheriff acknowledging they're looking at all the videos. And while there may be no connection, it does show someone's Ring camera somewhere might have captured something. This week, just hours after the FBI first issued the video and stills from Nancy Guthrie's front door, authorities raced to a scene 50 miles south of Tucson where they detained a delivery man for hours before letting him go.
Is that guy fully cleared?
Nobody's fully cleared.
And after Savannah Guthrie posted on Instagram childhood home movies with her mother and saying they will never give up on her, the sheriff told us authorities will not either.
What's your message to the Guthrie family today?
We're not giving up. All this can go away. If Nancy's out there, we're going to find her. We're not giving up.
The sheriff told us tonight, David, tens of thousands of tips have come in. Tomorrow's going to mark 2 full weeks since Nancy Guthrie was last seen. David, that's 2 full weeks the Guthrie family has gone without answers. David?
Well, it goes without saying, we continue to think about Nancy Guthrie, her daughter Savannah, of course, our friend Savannah Guthrie, and the entire family. Still impossible to imagine 2 weeks in what they're going through. Aaron, thank you. We move to the other news this Friday night. The images coming in, dramatic video showing the collision of 2 U.S. Navy ships, a destroyer and another ship. There's also late word coming in tonight. A fighter jet was scrambled while President Trump was at Fort Bragg today. A plane intercepted what had them so concerned. But first, hear this collision, and here's Martha Raddatz now.
Tonight, images of two U.S. Navy ships colliding in the Caribbean. Videos appearing to be taped by crew members and circulated on social media, capturing the destroyer USS Truxtun and a military supply ship slam into each other during a replenishment operation Wednesday afternoon. A horn blaring as the destroyer approaches the supply ship, crashing into its side. Officials now assessing whether the vessels are able to proceed with their deployment in the Caribbean, where they are part of the massive U.S. buildup to go after drug cartels. The images emerging as the Marines announced the death of 21-year-old Lance Corporal Chukwemeka Ofora of Florida, also deployed in the Caribbean, who fell overboard the USS Iwo Jima and was declared lost at sea after a days-long search. And David, to that late-breaking news, a small private plane flew within the restricted airspace over Fort Bragg, where the president was speaking today. One fighter jet was scrambled to intercept the plane. The jet released flares to alert the private plane, and the pilot then diverted to a regional airport, likely entering that restricted area inadvertently. David?
Martha Raddatz with us tonight on both fronts. Martha, thank you. Tonight we have learned 2 ICE agents have been placed on administrative leave. They are now under criminal investigation, accused of lying about shooting a man during the immigration crackdown in Minneapolis. What the agents claimed and what prosecutors are now saying tonight. Here's Alex Perez.
Tonight, 2 ICE agents have been placed on administrative leave as federal authorities launch a criminal investigation to determine whether they lied about the shooting of a man that sparked violent protests in Minneapolis. The official narrative of that shooting collapsing. It happened 1 week after the fatal ICE shooting of mother of 3 Renee Good, an ICE agent shooting and wounding Venezuelan national Julio Cesar Sosa Celis. At the time, DHS accused Sosa Celis and another man of ambushing an agent, claiming Sosa Celis fled to a nearby home as they carried out a targeted traffic stop, alleging agents were attacked with a shovel and a broom handle. But an FBI affidavit casting doubt, suggesting Sosa Celis wasn't even in the car that was stopped. In this harrowing video, you can hear children crying as a woman tells a 911 dispatcher in Spanish that agents followed a man home and shot him in the leg when they tried to close the door. Federal prosecutors now say new evidence, including video, is materially inconsistent with the allegations in the affidavit. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons admitting 2 officers may have made, quote, untruthful statements. Those agents placed on administrative leave, and prosecutors now dropping all charges against the men. In a statement, the family's attorney saying they're overjoyed, adding the charges against them were based on lies by an ICE agent who recklessly shot into their home through a closed door. All this just 24 hours after Border Czar Tom Homan announced an end to the ICE surge in Minnesota after the deadly shootings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, and acknowledged the problems on the ground.
There were some issues here, and we address those issues. But I'm not going to sit here and say anybody did anything wrong.
And David, tonight those families are calling for the agents to be charged. ICE says there have been 37 investigations involving excessive force. 19 of those are still pending review. David?
Alex Perez with us on a Friday night. Alex, thank you. Tonight, a partial government shutdown now just hours away. Democrats refusing to fund the Department of Homeland Security unless there are major changes to these immigration operations, including having ICE agents remove their masks. Here's Mary Bruce tonight.
Tonight, for the 3rd time in President Trump's 2nd term, parts of the federal government bracing for a shutdown. Democrats refusing to fund the Department of Homeland Security unless Republicans agree to key changes to immigration enforcement.
We've drawn a hard line in the sand on behalf of the American people, and we're not going to allow the Congress to cross it. ICE needs to be dramatically reformed. Period. Full stop.
Democrats demanding that ICE agents stop wearing masks, display identification, coordinate with state and local governments, and obtain warrants signed by a judge before making arrests.
What they're going to do is shut down FEMA, Coast Guard, TSA, and things that hurt real people.
Tonight, hours before the government shuts down, the halls of Congress empty. Republican leaders sending lawmakers home for a week-long holiday recess. As he was heading out of town himself, President Trump telling me he plans to get personally involved in talks, but refusing to say if he's willing to make any concessions.
How long are you prepared for this fight to go on? I am here to protect law enforcement and our great police and ICE and Border Patrol and everybody. I'm here to protect them because they're protecting us.
And David, Democrats say they're trying to protect the American people, too, after 2 American citizens, Renee Good and Alex Preddy, were shot and killed by immigration enforcement officers. David.
Mary Bruce live at the White House tonight. Mary, thank you. Now to the new video just in tonight after that plane crash in Pennsylvania we reported on. Investigators now say the pilot was distracted when his door opened on that plane during takeoff. Here's Morgan Norwood.
Tonight, the NTSB says the pilot of this plane that crashed into a senior living facility parking lot in Pennsylvania was distracted by a door that popped open as the plane was taking off. Watch again closely. You can see what appears to be the plane's propeller spinning away from the plane just as it hit the ground and erupted into flames. The NTSB's just issued final report says shortly after the plane took off from Lancaster Airport in Pennsylvania, the pilot heard a pop and saw one of the cabin doors on the plane had opened during takeoff.
Lancaster Tower, Bonanza 347 Mike has an open door. We need to return for a landing.
Investigators say that open door distracted the pilot to the point he failed to maintain adequate airspeed after takeoff. Investigators also say the plane was 500 pounds overweight, which increased its stall speed and adversely affected its control characteristics.
And 5 people on board suffered burns and other injuries, but miraculously, David, no one was killed. David?
Morgan Norwood tonight. Morgan, thank you. This evening, the alarming numbers here on measles in this country. The CDC reporting at least 24 states now reporting measles cases. More than 900 confirmed cases in January alone. That's 5 times higher than what we usually see in an entire year. And tonight, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a vaccine skeptic, making news himself after what he said about snorting cocaine off a toilet seat. Here's Steve Osunsami.
The new numbers tonight can't be ignored. 910 measles cases across 24 states. Since January, 5 times more cases than America usually sees in a calendar year. For months, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy, a lifelong vaccine skeptic, has been giving Americans mixed signals about giving children the vaccine. But now, with a record number of cases, the Trump administration is strongly encouraging parents to vaccinate children. A message that critics say is overdue.
Take the vaccine, please. We have a solution for a problem. Not all illnesses are equally dangerous, and not all people are equally susceptible to those illnesses. But measles is one you should get your vaccine.
The health secretary had many scratching their heads this week on another topic, telling a podcast host how as a recovering addict during COVID, he wasn't afraid of getting sick by going to his support meetings.
I'm not scared of a germ. You know, I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats.
What's frustrating to so many in public health is that here in the U.S., we had measles beat. It was declared eliminated in the year 2000, and studies show that the measles vaccine is both safe and 97% effective if you take it. David?
Steve Osunsami from the CDC. Steve, thank you. Tonight, an au pair sentenced to 10 years in prison for assisting in a double murder plot with her former employer, a husband and father in Virginia. Juliana Perez Magalhães emotional in court today. She confessed to an affair with that husband, Brendan Banfield. He was convicted of killing his wife and another man that he lured to their home. The judge admonishing that au pair in court.
Your actions were deliberate, self-serving, and demonstrated a profound disregard for human life. You do not deserve anything other than incarceration and a life of reflection on what you have done to the victim and this family. May it weigh heavily on your soul.
That husband, Brendan Banfield, will be sentenced in May. He faces life in prison. Now to the U.S. economy tonight. Inflation slowing last month. Encouraging news. The consumer price index up 2.4%. That's compared to 1 year ago. That's down from 2.7%, though, in December. Housing and many food costs, though, still remain high. When we come back tonight, the disturbing video showing a major brawl. Look at this, breaking out in a passenger jet. The pilot is forced to divert the plane. Also tonight, a college football star charged with rape following a year-long investigation. What a judge has now decided tonight. And just in this evening, the catastrophic performance for Team USA in Italy, the quad god and the stunning falls. We're going to go to Italy right after the break here. We'll be right back. Tonight, that passenger jet erupting into chaos as a brawl breaks out, prompting an emergency landing. A passenger capturing multiple people fighting and yelling on the flight from Turkey to the UK. A flight attendant trying to break up the fight initially. That plane diverted to Belgium, where the fighting continued on the ground. The airline tonight, Jet2, saying 2 passengers have been banned for life. When we come back here, that college football star charged with rape now, and what a judge has decided tonight, and the devastating falls on the ice. We're going to go to Italy in a moment here. To the Index tonight, BYU football star Parker Kingston charged with felony rape. Bail is now set at $100,000 for the Brigham Young University wide receiver. Kingston making his first court appearance nearly a year after a 20-year-old woman accused him of sexual assault. The judge ordering Kingston to wear an ankle monitor as well. When we come back tonight, the stunning upset on the ice for the quad god. Our reporter standing by in Italy for us with the images tonight.
ABC World News Tonight with David Muir. Sponsored by Nervive Nerve Relief. Feel alive with Nervive.
Tonight, the stunning upset on the ice for Team USA. Let's go to Maggie Rulli in Italy. Maggie.
David, it is the absolutely shocking upset reverberating here at these Olympics. After clinching the gold for the U.S. in the team event just days ago, Ilya Malinin from Virginia, heavily favored to win gold tonight in the men's singles event, instead with a catastrophic free skate, failing to even make the podium, falling twice on 2 of his jumps, stumbling on others, finishing in 8th place. A stunning performance as he nailed the backflip in the short program, and he's the only skater to ever land a quadruple axel in competition, affectionately earning him the nickname Quad God. Now, after the skate, he held his face in his hands, Ilya saying he's in shock and his mistakes tonight were all mental. And at the end of the night, there was this moment, a display of true sportsmanship, Ilya hugging the gold medal winner from Kazakhstan. And David, we spoke with Ilya before he left for these games. He told me that at 21 years old, this is only his beginning, and no doubt, David, he'll be back.
No doubt he will. He's still incredible. Maggie, thank you. And thank you at home. I'll see you Monday. Good night.
David Muir, the most trusted anchor in America, the most watched anchor in America. Thank you for making World News